وما تلك بيمينك يا موسى قال هي عصاي أتوكأ عليها وأهش بها على غنمي ولي فيها مآرب أخرى رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي فالحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين ثم ما بعد وما تلك بيمينك يا موسى. Allah Azza wa Jal was doing all the talking so far. He told Musa alayhi salam to take his shoes off. He introduced himself. He told him to take salat seriously. The day of judgment is coming. He's keeping the signs of it hidden so that everybody can work towards, to put efforts in towards earning their rewards. And then he told him not to be distracted by anybody. Don't allow anybody else to take him off track from prayer and from the remembrance of the afterlife. And if he does allow that to happen, he'll fall off a cliff. Very serious conversation. And out of nowhere, Allah asks a very unique question. He says, وَمَا تِلْكَ بِيَمِينِكَ يَا مُوسَى. And by the way, what's that in your right hand, Musa? What's that in your right hand, Musa? Now notice the phrase, Ya Musa. It's already been said, yes? The conversation began, Ya Musa. And is there anybody else around? No. The only one there is Musa alayhi salam. So if he says, وَمَا تِلْكَ بِيَمِينِكَ, what's in your right hand? Is it already understood that the conversation is with Musa alayhi salam? And of course, first of all, he's the only one there. Second of all, he's got something in his right hand. So it can't be confused with anybody else. Now, Ya Musa is being used as a term of endearment, as a term of calming him down. And this is something found in Arabic literature, but it's also found in language in general. To repeat the name out of love. And there's an interesting psychological effect between mentioning the name in the beginning as opposed to mentioning the name at the end. I tell my son, Walid. Once he hears Walid, he doesn't know if there's trouble or give me a hug. He doesn't know. If I say, hey, come here, Walid. Come here, Walid. Let me show you something, Walid. I'm so proud of you, Walid. I love you, Walid. And where's Walid? Beginning or end? It's at the end. The mystery is not there anymore. And it's also not threatening anymore. It's an expression of love. In Urdu, Aaja idhar mera bachcha. Where's mera bachcha at the end? Right? Now if I say, for example, your mom just calls you. Saeed, your dad calls you. Hassan. How was your day, Ahsan? Oh my God, the name at the end is so, phew. Dad's in a good mood. Ahsan, what'd you do today? Oh, there's trouble. You could sense the difference, yes? But then on top of that, just mentioning his name, it's an expression of love because the speech is complete without it. وَمَا تِلْكَ بِيَمِينِكَ. Still Ya Musa. Then there's another really interesting thing. In the Arabic language, everything is assumed, every noun is assumed to be masculine until you can prove that it's feminine. Epic class, some of you might remember. Okay? Everything is supposed to be masculine unless you can prove that it's feminine. And if something is unknown to you, then you assume that it's masculine, and then you discover that it's feminine and you change your position. Now, if something unknown is masculine, you say ذَلِكَ. If something unknown, you say ذَلِكَ. And when something is known, and you know it's feminine, then you say tilka. In other words, you don't go from ذَلِكَ to tilka unless you already know. Allah did not say مَا ذَلِكَ بِيَمِينِكَ. What's that in your hand? That's the actual generic question in Arabic. What's that in your right hand? مَا ذَلِكَ بِيَمِينِكَ. Once he answers, it's my staff, and asa, a staff, is Arabic. In Arabic is feminine because the Arab said so on page 12, Arabic students. Right, it's feminine because the Arab said so. It's a standard feminine word. But you wouldn't know that until the question's answered. Actually, Allah is, by the way Allah framed the question, ma tilka, what's that feminine thing in your hand? Allah is already telling him He knows. I already know what's in your hand. I'm just asking because I want you to not be nervous anymore. And I want you to talk a little. It might calm you down because you're still in a bit of a shock that you're talking to God. That can be a bit shocking. So it's a light conversation, change the subject kind of conversation. My wife is really good at that. If I'm really, really upset, she's saying, so what'd you have for dessert today? And I'll fall for it too. I had cake. It was kind of good. And I'll be like, wait, I was upset. How did you do that? She does that with the kids, and I say, oh, okay, yeah. I fall for that too. Allah Azza wa Jalla changes the subject. Says, what's in your right hand? And Musa alayhi salam is now given an opportunity to address Allah. Now, we address Allah all the time. In dua, we address Allah. In salat, we address Allah. But this is different. Allah asked him to speak, and then he spoke. And Allah asked him a question. He has the opportunity to give the answer. Now, nervousness, we know what happens with some people when they get nervous, right? They get tongue-tied. I've been wanting to meet you my whole life. But when you meet him, Assalamu alaikum. Wa alaikum. Nothing comes out of your mouth. You're stuck, and you're like awkward. And then the person leaves and you're like, oh my God. I wanted to tell him so much. Couldn't say anything. Nothing came out of my mouth. But then there's the person who realizes this is the only chance I got, man. I got to toughen up and take the opportunity. The question is, what's that in your right hand? The answer is, hiya asaya. It's my staff. Staff, not the modern meaning like this is my secretary and but staff, the big stick. We don't call it a cane because canes are symbols of weakness. Asa is a symbol of strength. It's big. It's taller than you. The question is answered in the phrase, hiya asaya. It's my staff. The answer is done. But Musa alayhi salam realizes this is a really, really unique opportunity. I should try to find ways to continue this conversation. So I'm going to make a one sentence answer into an essay answer. So he says, Ahushu biha, atawakka'u alayha. I lean on it. I lean on it? Allah asks, what is it? He says, my staff. The answer was done. And he has to figure out more things to say. He doesn't know what else he could find. I mean, how many things could you think of with a stick? So he goes, well, it helps me in leaning. Atawakka'u alayha. He's like, what else? What else could I say? What else could I? وَأَهُشُّ بِهَا عَلَى غَنَمِي. And I beat bushes. Hasha is a really beautiful word in Arabic. It's related to hazza. Hazza means to shake. Hasha also means to shake, but hasha is used when something soft is shaken. Hashash is a person that's very sensitive. They're shaken very easily. Hashash is also a person that smiles a lot. Like the smallest things makes them giggle. Like girls, like young girls. You ever see that? Hey, how you doing? Like and they can't stop. That's hashasha. Okay? Hashish also a person that's very sensitive. But when you shake a rock, hazza. When you shake, a table, hazza. But when you shake a leaf, soft, moves easily. Those are hazza. This is hasha. Easily moved. Also think of it. You have a stick and you're like kind of messing around with a tree to make the leaves fall. What sound does it make? Hush. It's actually, the phonetics capture the image itself. Ahushu biha. I make the leaves fall on my sheep with this stick. That's what I do with it. Now he's got two pretty awesome things to say about his stick. He's got, I lean on it, and I beat bushes with it so that my sheep can eat. وَلِيَ فِيهَا مَآرِبُ أُخْرَى. And I've got some other really important critical stuff that I do with it too. Fawaid in Arabic is benefits. Ma'arib comes from arb or arib. Arib actually means a critical need. That if you don't fulfill it, you'll get in trouble. Like an absolutely important thing. So he wants to make it sound like this, I'm not just making stuff up. I got something really valuable to say. So I do some very essential critical tasks with this as well. Other stuff. He says other stuff, he doesn't list it because he can't think of it. Right? وَلِيَ فِيهَا مَآرِبُ أُخْرَى. I mean, if you had a chance to talk to somebody important, you'd want to make the conversation longer, not shorter. I just have one more question. People do that. I just have one more question. What is it? Nothing. But they want to prolong the conversation. It's such a beautiful thing that Musa alayhi salam wants to continue to talk to Allah. Continue to respond to that very simple question, what's in your hand? But he doesn't know that Allah has actually a larger plan with that question. First part of the plan was to calm Musa down, alayhi salam. So he's calmed down. He's so calmed down now he's talking about his steak and he's kind of lost track of what was really happening. And very casually Allah says to him, قَالَ أَلْقِيهَا Ya Musa. Musa, could you throw it down? Now there's two words for throwing you learn in this surah. There's qadhafa, to throw far, to hurl. And there's ilqa, to just drop down on the ground. So Allah says casually, just drop it down. So which means if he drops it down, it's not going to fall far, it's going to be right close to him. Alqiha. Drop it down, Musa. Again, the word Musa is used calming him down. If he just says, Qala alqiha, throw it down, it's already understood, it's Musa. But Allah adds, Ya Musa. Throw it down, Musa. It's again a means of comforting. فَأَلْقَاهَا, so he threw it down. I mean, he figured maybe it's another kind of etiquette. Shoes off, stick down. But the stick falls. فَإِذَا هِيَ حَيَّةٌ, then immediately. إِذَا means all of a sudden, unexpectedly. إِذَا هِيَ حَيَّةٌ, it turned into a biting snake. Hayya actually means a snake that has whose fangs are visible. Hayya is a snake whose fangs are visible. They say hiwaya. Hiwaya are the fangs themselves. Tahwa al-hayya. They say that tahwa, the verb, tahwa al-hayyatu, when the snake actually engaged in the bite, when it snapped and it attacked with its fangs. And where is the snake? Can you imagine the proximity here? Right next to him. And its fangs are visible. And he's on top of a mountain. So is the calm gone all of a sudden? The shock. I mean, there was first the shock of, and by the way, he doesn't have his shoes on. You see the problem? Feet aren't protected anymore. فَإِذَا هِيَ حَيَّةٌ تَسْعَى. So he's obviously afraid. In another episode, we'll learn about his fear. In another season. Not in this season. In this season, you have to fill in the blanks yourself. You have to imagine yourself what happened. And that's what Allah does in the story. He'll tell you one line, and there's stuff in between, and then He'll tell you the next line. So the stuff in between right now is your imagination. Oh my God, he must have been terrified. He must have jumped. He must have, oh my God. What did he do? He must have run on the other side of the fire or something. What did he do? قَالَ خُذْهَا. Now Allah says, grab it. It's terrible enough that you're on top of a mountain with a snake with its fangs out. But then Allah adds, first, grab it. وَلَا تَخَفْ. And don't be afraid. You would think the logical sequence is, لَا تَخَفْ وَخُذْهَا. Don't be afraid, grab it. Allah says, grab it. And don't be afraid. Fear or no fear, my command comes first. What will help you execute the command will come later. Now it's time to get serious. Enough relaxation. You got to talk about your stick. Now just grab it. وَلَا تَخَفْ. Don't be afraid of it. What we're learning here is Musa alayhi salam is being trained to deal with the real monster, Fir'aun. He's going to have to face him. And to face him, he's going to have to obey Allah without thinking about it. He just has to do it. He has to trust Allah. Because grabbing a snake, if you're not trained in grabbing a snake, somebody asks you to grab a snake, what does that mean? You want me to die? The thing's fangs are out. What do you want me to put? Even if I put my hand near it, you know how quick a snake can strike? That is just immediate, you know? And by the way, hayya is from lughatul afdad in Arabic, the language of opposites in Arabic. Hayy in Arabic means living. Hayya is called hayya also, one, because it's a sign of life in the desert, because the desert is these wavy lines in the sand, right? But then all of a sudden one of the waves moves, and it's a snake. But it's also called hayya because it takes life. It's life. It's a sign of life, but it also takes life with one bite. Allah asks him to trust Him absolutely and reach his hand over and grab the snake. Khudha. He's being trained to trust Allah. No matter what Allah says, you do it. And then he's being trained to be brave, to have confidence. وَلَا تَخَفْ. سَنُعِيدُهَا سِيرَتَهَا الْأُولَى. We will return it to its original form, to its original characteristics. Sirah is used in the Sirah of the Prophet ﷺ, right? Sara yasiru, to walk. But Sirah means the entire, all the features that somebody has. So the Sirah of the Prophet ﷺ describes every feature he had. So, سِيرَتَهَا الْأُولَى will bring it back to its original form, its original characteristics. You don't have to worry. وَضْمُمْ يَدَكَ إِلَى جَنَاحِكَ. So now, he does it. It's in between the, he didn't, there's no conversation, Ya Allah, can we think about this a little? Or, do you have gloves? Or, there's none of that conversation. Which means he did it. Now that he did it, it's a stick again, and he's kind of like, what? It's a stick again? And Allah Azza wa Jal tells him, وَضْمُمْ يَدَكَ, and take your hand, إِلَى جَنَاحِكَ, into your armpit. Stick your hand in dhamma to make it one, to squeeze it inside your armpit. تَخْرُجْ بَيْضَاءَ, it'll come out white. مِنْ غَيْرِ سُوءٍ, without any fault whatsoever. Like you can't even see skin pores. Just like fluorescent white. So now he's got a stick that turns into a snake in one hand, and his other hand turned into a light bulb with white light coming out of it. Ayatan ukhra, as another miraculous sign. Now he's sure he's dealing with Allah Azza wa Jal, absolutely. But then why? لِنُرِيَكَ مِنْ آيَاتِنَا الْكُبْرَى, so we may show you some of our miraculous signs. Some of our greatest miraculous signs. These are not small signs. But first to show you how to use them, and they had to be shown to you, so you'll learn to trust me. But then, why are they being given to you? اذهب إلى فرعون. Go to Fir'aun. This is a very interesting transition. Musa alayhi salam up until now has had probably the most amazing experience of his life. Probably, there's no doubt, there's no probably. And possibly the most amazing experience in human existence up until that point. A conversation directly with Allah. And now he's being asked, the most beautiful conversation, he's being asked now to change that and have the ugliest possible conversation. Now go talk to who? Fir'aun. You're done talking to God now, go talk to Fir'aun now. The prophets have to do two things. They have to train themselves in their trust by learning or engaging in the most beautiful conversation with Allah. Then when they're ready, they have to go engage in the ugliest conversations with the people. Because the people have no respect. They don't hold back. They're not courteous. They make lies, they make accusations, they poke fun, they insult. And the prophets are able to deal with all of that from the strength that they gained by conversing with Allah. So there's two conversations happening. A prophet is conversing with Allah and a prophet is conversing with the people. And in this case, the worst of all people, Fir'aun. So to have that really tough conversation, the first conversation prepared him for the next conversation. And this is true of our Prophet too, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That's why our Prophet said, جُعِلَتْ قُرَّةُ عَيْنَيَّ فِي الصَّلَاةِ. The coolness of my eyes was put in the prayer. In the prayer, who is Allah talking to? Or who is the messenger talking to? Allah. So he calms in the prayer. He's relaxed in the prayer. But when the prayer is over, he has to go in a storm, deal with all the people and all the horrible things they say to him. Sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The salat prepares him though. That's what Surah Al-Muzammil teaches us, right? وَرَتِّلِ الْقُرْآنَ تَرْتِيلًا. Recite the Qur'an all night, half the night, a third of the night. Why? إِنَّا سَنُلْقِي عَلَيْكَ قَوْلًا ثَقِيلًا. We're going to load a heavy word upon you. The heavy word will be you have to go out and warn people. In the next surah, يَا أَيُّهَا الْمُدَّثِّرِ قُمْ فَأَنذِرْ وَرَبَّكَ فَكَبِّرْ. Go and warn people. In the previous surah, talk to Allah. In the next surah, talk to the people. And eventually when the Prophet's mission was over, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and you have to ask yourself this logical question. It's the opposite of us. We love talking to people and we have no time to talk to Allah. It's the opposite of us. When it comes to chatting with people, we could chat all day. When it comes to making salat, we pick the shortest possible surah we can and get it over with. Dua, it's like a generic exercise. We don't really have time to talk to Allah. We don't get any joy out of that. It's a horrible state to be in. But in the Prophet's cases, alayhi salatu wasalam, what does Allah say? When victory comes, إِذَا جَاءَ نَصْرُ اللَّهِ وَالْفَتْحُ وَرَأَيْتَ النَّاسَ يَدْخُلُونَ فِي دِينِ اللَّهِ أَفْوَاجًا. When victory comes, the help of Allah comes, lots of people are becoming Muslim, your mission is accomplished. Now you can do what you've been wanting to do all along. Take a vacation. What's a vacation for the Prophet? I don't want to talk to the people, I would much rather talk to Allah. So what does the surah end with? فَسَبِّحْ بِحَمْدِ رَبِّكَ وَاسْتَغْفِرْهُ. Make tasbih of your master. Ask him to forgive you. Why? Because that's what you love doing. That's what you love. You just want to talk to Allah. That's what you want to do. If it was up to the prophets, they'd only do dhikr. But Allah forces them to go and deal with the people, to tell them to go warn and engage, So this balance is acquired. Now Musa alayhi salam is going to be sent to Fir'aun. إِنَّهُ طَغَى. No doubt, he's the one that has rebelled.